Welcome back to Mad Talks Football, and Bayern Munich have won their game against Wolfsburg at 3-2 at the Allianz Arena, and they have increased their lead at the top of the table. So let's go ahead and talk about this game. I mean, it was a really good game of football. I expected that the game to go like this. I went for a 2-all prediction, and it turned out to be wrong, but the game was almost like exactly like I expected it to be. Quite an open game. It was, both teams. It did not feel like Bayern Munich had majority of the chances. Like, I'm not gonna deny that, but I still think like Wolfsburg did not sit back as most teams do against Bayern Munich. They came out. They tried to play their football the way that they have been playing for the last couple of months. That's why they have risen. In the table as well, and to be very honest with you, they were really good in that game as well, and we got quite a close game. It was a 3-2, and Bayern Munich, they created good amount of chances, but Wolfsburg themselves, they created a good number of chances as well. But to be very honest with you, Bayern Munich really dominated as well. They had majority of the possession. They were really good in creating those chances. The thing for Bayern Munich would be that they did not convert those chances today that you could take in advance. That Wolfsburg were good defensively, as well as Grabara, like he was really good for majority of the game. I think he was fault for that the second goal, but we'll come on to that later on. Well, the first goal, it was quite a good move by Bayern Munich, the way that they moved the ball quite quickly, and Goretzka gets the goal, and Bayern Munich take the lead, and it becomes a 1-0. And then a credit to Wolfsburg. I've been saying this continuously for a month or so, that they have, they are sort of like the team that nobody really notices, but they keep on winning games, and slowly coming into it, and now they are really in a good position in the table, trying to qualify for those European places. And the way that they play football, and again today, if you would have watched that game, you would have just taken, that is Bayern Munich constantly attacking, but the moment Wolfsburg had the ball, they came in, and almost all their chances were really threatening for Bayern Munich. I think they had like 5 or 6 shots on goal, and all of those were needed, like a couple of them were goals as well, and the rest of them, Neuer had to make really good saves to keep Wolfsburg from scoring. So that just shows like they are really clinical. That's what I'm trying to say. Like whenever they attempt something, it's like a big probability that they are going to be, and they're gonna get a reward out of it. So again today, they played the same goal. They go ahead and for that second goal, I mean, the way that they move the ball, it is really beautiful. I like Wolfsburg as a club, and the way that they play football. Again today, Amora finishes of that his chance, and it becomes 1-0. And then it was sort of like a pendulum, this game, that Bayern Munich would have like 10-15 minutes of utter dominance, where they would go ahead and try to create chance after chance after chance, and maybe in those times they would score a goal. And then there would be a period of 5 to 7 minutes, I would say, not that much, but 5 to 7 minutes, where Wolfsburg would push back, and then they are the ones who would be trying to create the chances. It felt like it was like a boxing match, where one boxer is constantly trying to punch, and the other one is trying to defend, and then he's trying to punch. It felt like that game, and it went well. I like that for the entirety of that game. The second goal, the Olise one, I mean, firstly, Olise gets lucky because the 3 players come in, and the ball somehow lands at his feet after ricochets the ball ricochets off and comes to Olise, and he goes, and the shoot he makes, I think Grabara gets a hand to it. It's like, it's in the middle of the net. That's my point. It's not on the corner. It's not on the left hand side. It's the middle of the net. It's on a really good height as well. He gets a little bit finger on it, but I think he has to save that. I think Grabara would be really sad that he was not able to save that a moment, because especially the timing of that was very important. Just before the halftime, you have to save. You have to go into the second half, level and not go behind. Unfortunately for Wolfsburg, they were not really able to do that, and I think that was a very crucial moment of the game. Bayern Munich get the goal. It becomes a 2-1. They come back in the second half, and again, like the game was basically the similar. It did not really change in the second half as well. Again, Bayern Munich started really strong in that first half, and they started, again they created, and then they got that goal. Again, Goretzka from a free kick, the ball comes in, and Goretzka scores, and it becomes a 3-1. And you would think that Wolfsburg are basically done with the way that the game was. But I think the last 20 minutes of Wolfsburg were really good, and I think they were a bit unlucky, in my opinion, that they did not get anything out of this game. But they scored that second goal. I mean, the movement of Wolfsburg, the way that they move the ball is really good. I think it's one of the best in Bundesliga. They are really fast. and they just when they have the ball, they are really good at one touch or one to pass, and the ball keeps on moving. You don't really know when how quick they move. They are going to come to you and they are going to attack you. I think that is a very good a quality that Wolfsburg have in them, and they Amora again finishes off the second goal, and they were like still about 4 minutes remaining plus the added time, and I think Bayern Munich in the end, if I'm being very honest, they were holding up. You could just see that they were not really up until the last couple of minutes. I think Bayern Munich for majority of the last out of the 10 minutes, including the extra time in the last 3-4 minutes of normal time, I think 7 to 8 minutes Bayern Munich just held off, making sure that they don't concede another one in search of going for that fall. In the last 2 minutes, Bayern Munich came out and trying to push back Wolfsburg. They almost scored the fourth goal right at the end, but the game ends at 3-2. Was it a fair result? If you look overall, they had majority of the possession. They created more chances. They converted their chances as well, even though they got a bit lucky with that second goal. But I would say, in my opinion, in a way, it's a fair result. But you can still feel like if you are Wolfsburg fan, even as a neutral, you could say you could be a bit disappointed, and you can feel a bit sad for Wolfsburg because it was a really entertaining game and they played their part in that game as well. Bayern Munich, as I said before, it was an important game for them. They Leverkusen keep on coming close to them. Frankfurt won last night as well, so there was a risk of them coming, catching. I still think Frankfurt are in a tighter race with an outside chance. I think of the basically it's Leverkusen and Bayern Munich, but I still think Frankfurt can come up and spoil the party for these two teams, especially the way that they played last night. They basically destroyed against Dortmund again. So Bayern Munich knew that they couldn't really afford to draw points. So it was a very good performance. I think Vincent Kompany would be very happy with the way that his team responded to that pressure. And now it's really quite a fun thing to see when 2-3 teams are in the title challenge, because now Frankfurt through the gauntlet at the other two. Bayern Munich have won their game as well, and now all eyes are going to be on Leverkusen, who play later on. That both of us have won. Let's see what you can do, in your game. So it is quite a healthy competition, and it is looking really good going into the future. Wolfsburg, unfortunately for them, they were just not able to get anything out of this game. I thought it would be a draw. That was my prediction, as I said before. But I think they played really good. There's nothing bad in that. If sometimes if you play good and you lose, you can sort of accept it. Okay, like it was just not over there. And I think it was one of those days that they had to be 1 minute and Bayern Munich won the game. Overall, a great game of football, and I think both teams in a way would be happy. Wolfsburg performance wise, Bayern Munich, of course, they got the points that they needed, and now they just have to wait and see what Leverkusen do, and we continue to the next week. So yeah, that's it from me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, what you guys thought of Bayern's performance, Wolfsburg performance, what are your views on the title race. Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers as quickly as possible, possibly trying to get to it before the end of January, before the end of Feb. That's the target. So please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.